Welcome to Design Trends. Today I'm going to talk about ceiling designs. Ceilings are no longer uneventful, flat elements in your interior space. Ceilings can actually be transformed into something quite dramatic and much more considered within the space, and can form an important element within the interior design. Open truss roof ceilings are a great element, beautiful for big double volume spaces. Using and exposing the timber trusses is also a very nice feature. These can then be accentuated and lit up to create a great ambiance within the space. Flat timber ceilings are also a beautiful design element that we are incorporating in contemporary homes at this point. The ceilings don't necessarily just have to comprise of flat wood. You can create something that is much more three-dimensional, a lot more dramatic, creating almost a pergola effect, or creating a timber screen made from slatted wood, which kind of wraps around down the side in front of a glass facade is also a great feature, and also works very well when you're trying to create some kind of light shading in terms of sunlight. Ceilings can be broken up into different layers and different levels, and this can very successfully be done with different bulkheads set at different heights. Again, we can use timber to create warmth when we combine this with white plasterboard ceilings. Having a centered raised area into which you put a timber pergola is very beautiful, and almost gives you the feeling that you're sitting outside under a covered terrace or under a beautiful pergola. The use of off-shadow concrete as exposed ceilings is also a very beautiful element in design. Sometimes these can feel quite austere, and you can warm this up or break it up more by incorporating other bulkheads or adding a beautiful pergola timber detail. This creates a beautiful rhythm within the design space and sets a nice tone for an area that is slightly more relaxed and more refined. Combining off-shadow concrete with white ceiling bulkheads also works very well. The layering of the sort of smooth white finish combined with the rough texture of the concrete really complements each other. Again, we can use perimeter bulkheads which wrap around the room and then create sort of raised zones within the space that define a certain area, and this is where we can then expose the concrete finish. Ceiling designs can also be very dramatic. You can play around with shapes, you can play around with color. Faceted ceilings create great interest, especially if you kind of have concealed lighting and you're uplighting the ceiling. You get interesting play of light and pattern reflecting off of this. A dark ceiling surrounded by a light ceiling also works very well when you want to create additional height or the perception of height within an interior of a room. For a more minimalistic interior space, flat ceilings still work very well, but it still needs to be very considered, and you still need to look at the detail to bring in the interest into the space. So rather than having a ornate cornice or something like that, create a beautiful shadow recess that runs around the perimeter of the ceiling. This then floats that ceiling in that space. To add detail, I think you need to carefully consider where you position the lighting. And again, it's all about focusing light points, keeping them quite minimal. Rather than having sort of a runway of lights in a rhythm, put the light exactly where you need it. So I hope we've inspired you to look up and do something creative with your ceiling. Next week, we're going to have some more exciting design trends to discuss with you.